Every drink has a story. Every shift has a moment that sticks with you. Good, bad, or completely insane, behind the laughter, the chaos, and the clinking of the glasses, that's where the real stories live. This is Bartender Bangaz, where we pour out the truth straight. No chaser. What's up, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Bartender Bangaz. I'm your host, Mark the Shark, a.k.a. Schmark, and today we're bringing it to Freeport, Long Island, and we're coming to one of the most established places here. They've been here since 1989. We're at the Montana Brothers, and we're talking with the star of the show, Mr. Frank Montana. Frank, thank you so much for being on the show.
Same here, man. Thank
Welcome
you for
to the
having me.
podcast. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a fun episode.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Freeport's a cool place.
It's a great town.
A lot of boating and just really.
Well, especially come the summer.
I was about to say
wakes
summer
up,
town.
you know? It's fun.
Yeah,
A lot of fun.
awesome. So we always get these things started off like you kind of introducing yourself, where you got your start, and what kind of brought you to where you're at now.
So my family started in '89. You know, I was 10.
Yep.
My older brother had like a dream, like he would cut out of school just to make pizza. You know, that was his thing.
Yeah.
So my father opened up a place for him across the street from where we are now. In '89, my brother was 19, and small little place. And then as time went on, you know, I graduated. My middle brother graduated high school. Obviously, we didn't opt for college, so we all jumped into the family business. And then over time, we expanded. You know, in 2000, I think it was 2009, my older brother had left already, went to Pennsylvania, opened up a couple of restaurants out there.
Okay.
And my middle brother Joe and I decided to put the bar in a catering room across the street. And that's when we got into the whole restaurant bar, you know, industry. You know,
right.
Kind of like, you know, spinning off of the pizza side, you know. And then 2013, we ended up coming here to this location right across the street. As the phone's ringing.
Yeah.
And
it's a busy place.
Yeah. And then we just, you know, put a bigger bar in, bigger restaurant, and then during COVID we opened up the outdoor garden, which we have now.
Okay.
So it's been a fun ride.
Yeah.
A lot of ups and downs, but fun.
Yeah, I think that's the restaurant business, is ups and downs, and it's a roller coaster for sure for everybody.
1,000%.
So this place here, like you moved in here, you said in 2013,
Mm-hmm.
and you were in a smaller pizzeria?
Well, it wasn't smaller per se. It was just cut differently.
Okay.
You know, we had a party room, we had a bar area, restaurant, and then a pizzeria on the other side. Because over the years on Atlantic Avenue, we just kept on taking space and building.
Yeah.
Where this was one open shell. So we were able to design it the way we wanted to. You know what I mean?
So that I was going to get into that because you guys did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Because coming here, like it's in a strip mall, so you don't expect like a nicer looking restaurant to be in a strip mall.
Right.
And I walked in here, and you do. As soon as you come in here, you're in a different world. Like this is a high end.
Yeah.
You know, everything is really nice in here.
Thank
this
you.
feels. Yeah, you guys did a great job. But what made you want to like really put this upscale kind of location here?
It's not even upscale. It was more like, you know, a lot of people tend to you go out. You can't afford to always go out to the nicer restaurants.
Yeah.
You know, so we pride ourselves on really, really good food, and give you an ambiance of that high end restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but with the affordable prices.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, especially in today's economy, you know, it definitely has been you know, one of our strong points. You know,
I could
so
see
you come
why.
in, you're grabbing a really, really good plate of pasta, for instance, you know, that you would pay probably double at a high-end restaurant. But, you know, yes, listen, you are walking into a pizzeria, but once you walk in, you're wowed, you know.
I do not feel like I'm in a regular Long Island pizzeria at all. It definitely is. You did a great job, and I could see why people would want to come here, and you feel that ambiance. And
thank you.
Like you're saying, the prices are.
Yeah, you try to keep the.
affordable.
Oh, now I mean everything is so expensive, you know. But, you know, the other day I was working counter, and I rung up a customer, and it was like a large pie, chicken parm hero, a couple of salads, and it was like 100 and change. And I'm like, you know, this is what's going on right now.
Right.
You know, it's just everything's expensive. But not as expensive when you go into, you know,
Definitely, yeah. It's that expensive with you keeping it affordable.
with us keeping it affordable.
Right.
Or trying to.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, that's awesome.
Yep.
And you got involved with your family. Your family owned it, and you took it over. Is
Yeah.
your family still involved, or is
So
it just
my brother Joe is still involved with me here.
okay?
And my mom still comes in every Friday, makes the rice balls, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's her recipes. Everything that we do is her recipes. I mean, she's not there, you know, I don't want my 8-year-old mom, you know,
Yeah.
slinging dough, but it's all her recipes, the sauces. But for the most part, she's here every Friday making the rice balls. My brother Joe is here with me every day, you know, help me, you know, run the day-to-day.
Yeah.
You know, he runs the back house. I'm predominantly front house. So it kind of works good. I mean, if you catch us in the morning, you can see a couple of fights. It'd be nice. You know?
Of course.
The slogan is buy a slice and watch the brothers fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no. But yeah, listen, work with your family. It's
It's bound to happen.
yeah. But
But
that's
it's
what,
also-
that's what makes it, you know.
Yeah, a beautiful thing. Like
a
you're
beautiful
lucky. Who gets to actually, you know, go into business with their family and be successful like this? And,
Right. It's
you know,
it's definitely it's nice, and sometimes you're like, why am I doing it? You know, but
of course, yeah.
but it's really
Everybody wants to kill a sibling, you know.
good. Yeah.
I'm sure he'd say the same about you.
Yeah, he's gonna kill me when he walks in here seeing this.
Oh, he doesn't know we're doing this?
No. You know?
And if you were to describe Montana Brothers to somebody that's from across the country, that's never been to New York before, how would you describe this place?
So you know what? That's a really good question. You're walking into a pizzeria that's going to give you the best entertainment that you're going to see, the best food and service, for an extremely economical price. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, we have singers that come in here, you know, from freestyle singers that you'll hear on the radio. We have bands like Mystic, Disco Unlimited is here in a couple of weeks. But you know, we're not killing you with the price.
Yep.
And it's a one-stop shop. Like like you said, when you walk in, like you're like, what's going on in here? You know.
Right.
So it's just, you know, entertainment is a big part of what we do because I was an entertainer. So my father was a singer. Then I got into the music business, you know, before getting into the family business. So it's been a part of me, you know, and my family.
Yep.
So music is another big factor. You know, if you look around, or if you look at the murals on the wall, you see a lot of Sinatra, Elvis, my father on the wall, me singing as a kid. So music has been a big part of what we do, and that's what we're known for on Saturday and Friday nights.
You guys do a lot of live music.
A lot, extremely a lot. Like tonight we do karaoke, which is Wednesday. Thursday night at my Merrick location, we have a DJ. Friday and Saturday is bands and singers, you know.
Oh,
And
wow.
we go throughout the whole year doing that, consistently every weekend. So any Friday and Saturday, both locations are going to have music, a band or a singer or a DJ.
And what time is that starting usually?
Usually start from 7 to 11.
Okay.
You know, around that area.
Do you guys do any late night crowds?
Yeah, I mean, in the summer, it tends to get late, but I don't try to keep it open past, you know, 1:30, you know, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Nothing good happens after 2.
For
you know?
sure. Yeah.
You know, again, we are a restaurant, too. So once you start going into those, you know, to 2 o'clock in the morning, it gets messy. So we try to end at 12. Bands stop at 11, 11:30 tops.
Yep.
We do last call around 12:31, and we try to, you know, wheel it down. But then you have to clean up. It's a lot, you know, just to get out of here. But
Definitely.
for the most part, you know, to keep it open late, it's not,
Yeah.
you know, we try not to, at least.
Yeah.
We try not to.
Yeah, sometimes you're hanging out, you're having a good time.
Well, yeah, but
It
for the most
stretches.
part, yeah.
The customers that come here, would you say that it's mostly regulars or more new faces?
Mostly regulars.
Mostly
So
regulars.
my bar, it's more of a restaurant bar, you know.
Yep.
So a lot of food going over the bar, you know, even for lunch. You know, everybody eats and drinks, and they're mostly regulars.
Yeah.
You know? And once you come in, you know, it's funny. Like once a new person comes in a matter of like, I don't know, 25 to half hour, they're like, wow, this place is. They feel so comfortable because everybody engages them.
Yep.
You know, so and they watch out for my bar. They respect my bartenders, which is a big plus because sometimes you get, you know how it is. Some
Oh,
people
yeah.
get crazy.
No, a good regular is so underrated.
Yeah.
You know, like, because they will help you out almost as if they work here. You know, like they look at you as family.
and it's their place.
Yeah.
You know, I have people that have like assigned seats at the bar. You know, especially when the Yankee games are on. You know, and it's funny to see them come in and see someone sitting at their seat. They get startled. But
Yep.
for them, it's like, you know, they're here every day, you know, and that's why you try to keep up the appearance of the place, too. You know, people, you know, they're here every day. You want to make sure you give them a clean environment, a nice environment.
Yeah.
You know, and give back, you know.
Hey, if you have a bunch of regulars, like if your crowd is mostly regulars, you know you're doing something right. You're bringing the people back.
Yes.
Like, and that's a hard thing to do in this industry is you can get people in the door, but keeping them coming back
That's
is
the hardest thing. I think it's like a 75 or 80% ratio that people won't come back.
right.
You know,
Even
so-
if you give them great service.
Great, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, they can love the food, but, you know, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
And again, you know, a testament to 1989, you know, to now. I mean, we're still here, you know, and it's, a lot of restaurants can't say that, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for those because it's not that they're bad restaurants, you know, it's just it's an extremely hard industry.
You have to stand out. You have to keep with the times. There's so many options.
Oof.
Like,
Well, that's what I tell all my, you know, say we have a crazy Friday night, and a customer's getting on one of my employees, and they're getting frustrated. I say to them, listen, do you realize how many good restaurants these people had to pass to come here?
right.
You got to be grateful, you know, and the fact that they're here, you know, yes, can they be tedious? Of course. Customers could be, you know, anytime you're in dealing with people, it's just rough. But, you know, how many good restaurants we have in a square mile, you know, half a mile, even
Yeah.
a mile of us. It's just, you're passing a lot of good places.
Right.
So they don't have to come here.
No.
You know, we're not in Nebraska where we're the only place in town.
For sure.
So I'm blessed in that sense. I got a great staff, and the customers take care of my staff well.
Yeah.
You know, so
What would you say is like the busiest night of the week here?
I would say Friday and Saturdays. You know,
It's
the
regular
Saturday
weekends.
if I have, you know, depending on what entertainment I bring in, you know, you'll have the busiest night. But Friday's always a busier day just because it's Friday.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
of course.
So people tend to let their hair down a little bit. And
They're excited to be done with the week.
With the week. You know,
Yeah.
We start our week on Friday. They end it.
You guys have an awesome bar. Is there like certain drinks that you guys, like the Montana Brothers drink that you guys created? Or
You know what? That's one thing that we never really got deep into. We just make really, really good drinks.
Right.
Like an espresso martini. We try to make it the best we can.
Right.
We do have like a Montana mojito, you know. In the summertime, we tend to like have a Montana margarita. You know?
Okay.
But it's very basic good drinks. You know, you order Manhattan, you get a Manhattan. We pride ourselves in, you know, good alcohol. You know,
Yep.
We don't deal with low shelf alcohol.
yeah, there's no
You know.
rack or anything.
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you look at my rack, it's like Tito's is, you know, my rack.
That's
you
a
know?
great- yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, you try to, you know, but again, we have to start moving a little bit more into, you know, the fancier drinks, you know. But, you know, people tend to like it, you know.
Yeah, sometimes doing just the classic thing the right way is good enough.
Well,
You know,
that's you know, kind of like my food. You know,
Yeah.
I don't got to dazzle you with, you know, how I played it. Just put a fork in it.
Right.
And you're going to be dazzled.
So,
You know
so
what
I was
mean?
going to get into that. Is we'll start with pizza. Like, is there one slice that like you guys have created, or like what's the must-get slice here at Montana's?
Listen, the regular slice, from what I hear, you know, you hear customers, my regular slice is probably one of the best
Right.
On Long Island.
And we will say that's Portnoy rated.
Portnoy rated. Dave,
Yep.
Dave Portnoy did come here. What's up, Dave?
Yeah.
And well, listen, honestly, my garlic knots. I don't know. People come from everywhere. I mean, everywhere. For
Yep.
my garlic knots. I mean, the garlic knots are like legend in this place.
Really?
I mean, there's people that come from Massapequa. There's people that I was in Freeport. Let me get 2 dozen garlic knots. You know, you would think like I'm giving them for free. Like,
Yeah.
you know, garlic knots. People just adore my garlic knots.
And are you doing anything different with them?
I can't tell you.
Yeah,
all
all right, fair. No. Don't tell the
Honestly,
secrets. Yeah.
I mean, it's just a simple recipe. It's just, I guess, you know,
Yeah.
you know.
You guys just do it the right way.
Alvaca sauce slice. I mean, people love alvaca, you know, penne alla vodka. So the sauce itself, you know, we send a ton of that. People love alvaca sauce. So, but pizza-wise, I mean, the regular is one of the, you know, the fan favorite.
Yeah.
You come in on a regular, it was like, oh, let me get a regular. You know, then regular, and then they get whatever
Something
they
else.
want, you know.
But they got to get the regular.
Yeah, I got people come in and say, I need that regular, and then they just bounce. You know.
I think that says like so much more because
Yeah.
you're when you can do the traditional things the right way, like your drinks, your regular slice.
Right. Yeah. And even the
that's-
food, it's just try to keep it. You know, keep simple stuff really, really good. 'Cause
Yeah,
sometimes people
make it
lose
the
sight
best.
of that. You know.
And so then also dishes, like is there a pasta dish or
So
whatever
the
dishes?
Rigatoni Fiorentina is like people get wowed over. Our clam sauce, people say, is like the best. We do a Montana, a pork chop alla Montana,
Okay.
which people rave over, like rave. I have people that own restaurants, like 4.5-star restaurants that have come in and be like, listen, what do you do with your pork chop? Because it's just, you
And
know,
what's it called? Pork chop?
alla Montana.
A la Montana.
Yeah, so it's in a cognac mushroom sauce, melted mozzarella, butterfly. You know, we pan sear it in olive oil. I mean, we fry it in olive oil.
Okay.
You know, breaded, fried.
Yep.
But people, you know,
That sounds amazing.
and of course my mother's rice balls. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
gonna get better than that.
But mom's cooking. It's so great that you still have her in here making it
Yeah,
because
she's still-
nothing is better than mom's cooking. Like the
Yeah.
mom's meatloaf, the mom's this, you know,
Right.
mom's
Mom,
rice
where's the
ball-
meatloaf?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, the rice balls. That's so, and yeah, here to have the best rice balls, you know,
Yeah.
mom made.
She's, you know, Fridays, man, you come here, she's back there making the rice balls. She
Yeah.
won't let nobody touch them.
I love it.
She was away in Florida for a couple of weeks. There was no rice balls. I'm like, Mom, listen, you got to teach somebody. Nope. It's her rice balls.
These are my, yeah. She's taking it with her.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome. And then, so you're an owner here. You've probably worked every bit of this industry,
Every-
right?
every
You're
angle.
saying that. Yeah, like you're from dishwasher to owner to bartender to
Yep.
pizza counter. You were saying you
to
do the
bus
pet
boy, to janitor, you know.
What are some of the hardest jobs in the industry that you would think, or like in this, if you had to pick one job?
That's the hardest.
Yeah.
I think they're equally as hard. I mean, listen, a counter person, it seems like easy, but you know, you have two phones ringing. You know, one person don't show up. You're by yourself. You got 7 people at the counter. If you don't know how to multitask, you know,
For sure.
So it's all relative to the person that you put at their job.
Yep.
You know, dishwashing could be challenging if you don't, you know. Also, there's stack of dishes if you don't know how to, you know, everything is
Yeah.
equally as hard. I think the cooking, the cooks and the pizza men have a bigger responsibility. You got to make sure, like a pizza man, make sure deliveries go out right. But you're also looking at your takeout orders. You also got dining room coming in. Same thing with the cooks, and then the bartenders. I mean, you know, they got to deal with a lot of shit.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know, you got a customer sitting there ordering their food. Their food is not ready yet. You have a waitress saying, "Where's my drinks for table 3?"
Yep.
You know. Meanwhile, the customer's still looking at you like, "Where's my food?" Then the other person flirting with you. And you got to know how to put all these hats on at once. You
Yeah.
know? So it's
And still keep everybody happy.
and keep everybody happy and keep cool.
Yeah.
Without, you know, so the industry itself is a lot. You know,
For
people,
sure.
And sometimes when people like belittle a server or belittle or talk down to a restaurant person, I'm like, you know, you don't realize what this person's going through just to get your $10 tip.
Right.
You know, it's messed up.
Yeah.
You know, the person's breaking their ass. Now, if the person's on their phone scrolling through it, you still shouldn't be yelling at an employee, but, you know, come talk to the management and we'll take care of it. But
Right.
for the most part, you know, I see some people getting on my employees. So I walk over and I'm like, listen, you know, this is not acceptable. You can't, if you want to yell at anybody, yell at me.
Yeah.
But don't yell at the person that's serving you. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Especially, you know, at the bar, I see it a lot. You know, people get a little, you know, have a couple of drinks in them and they get a little nasty. Don't get nasty because you'll get kicked out.
Definitely.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
You know, but that's when it's challenging. The whole industry is challenging.
Like you're saying, if somebody's on their phone, it's inappropriate,
Yeah.
but you also don't know what's going on. Like that person could have received an emergency text from their, you know, family or something like.
Listen, with you know, not to cut you off, but
No.
like even then, you get an emergency text, excuse yourself from the bar. You know, have
Yeah.
somebody, because it never looks good when you're sitting here like this.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and you have 6 people at the bar, it just doesn't look right. I had a counter person and a customer interact the other day like this. Counter person walked in, the pizza person was on their phone, so I walked over and I'm like, they both didn't look up at each other.
Yeah.
I mean, they were so perfectly comfortable the way they were. And
Right.
I go, guys, can I? So I went to the customer, can I help you? Like, no, when she's done on her phone. I mean, but this is another part of the industry where, that's crazy too. But
For sure.
for the most part, it's a lot for when you work in these type of places, which you have, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a lot, especially with the customers.
Oh, yeah.
You got a lot of great ones, but those ones that are not, man,
They stand out.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I always say I think like 90 to 95% of customers, probably 95% to even more, are great people. I love
Yes.
most customers.
Yes.
It's those 5% that are just pests that can like really like.
Yeah, and they could really, and listen, I always tell my employees, you're only as good as your last meal. Mm-hmm. People tend like, say you come here and it's your brother's birthday and you bring 20 people down, and we completely fuck up your whole meal. We just messed up your experience.
Yep.
People don't forget that. I mean, if they're good customers, they tend to come back. But for the most part, you're as good as your last meal. You got to be very sharp.
Definitely.
So it's definitely challenging.
What would be like a crazier night that you've had here? Like a night that went from calm to complete chaos that you weren't expecting?
There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or one that just pops out to you.
So it was recently. We had a band inside, and the band came with more pieces than I thought they were going to come. I thought it was a 4-piece band. I mean, a 5-piece band. They came with a 7-piece band. So now that eliminates more space out of my restaurant.
Yeah.
The person taking reservations never took 3 reservations. So now you have 45 people walking in, another 16 people walking in with no tables, and now it's, what do you do? Like,
Yeah.
it's just, you're stuck in it. Everything was going great, and now my whole day just went upside down.
Right.
So, and people yelling, I had a reservation, it's my birthday, blah, 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 blah. So now you're like, oh my God. And you just do what you got to do. You figure it out.
For sure.
I put people here, I moved people out of the bar, I put tables here. I mean, it was just mayhem. But you get through it. I mean, there's been crazier nights. I mean, but one that sticks out, it gets crazy.
Yeah.
When it gets crazy, it gets crazy. Sometimes the kitchen just gets backed up.
Yep.
Now you have, especially during COVID when you had the outside going crazy because we couldn't eat inside.
Right.
It was like, all right, now you have 100 people out there. You have takeout coming out of your nose because everybody was afraid to come out.
Yep. Yeah.
Kitchen couldn't handle it, and people are waiting an hour and a half. It's just when things go bad, they go bad.
Of
And I
course.
always tell my employees, prep is everything. If you prep or don't make mistakes, you take reservations, you don't have room for them. What are you going to do? So there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on.
Yeah. How about a situation that you've had to step in and control, like a customer being outlandish?
Oh well, that happens. I mean, that happens at least once a month where customers getting a little fresh or.
And you got to step in.
Well, you tell the customer, listen, I'm going to put you in Uber, or calm down, or it's not that bad. You try to calm them down. I mean, I had one customer get mad at my pizza man the other day because they wanted a fresh pie, but they wanted it cold.
A fresh pie cold?
Right. So the pizza man was trying to explain to the customer, well, in order to, we always make a fresh pie.
Yeah.
But it's always going to be hot. What we can do is we can hold it back and let it cool down for you. No. I want it cold, but I want it fresh. So the guy goes, you want it raw? So then the customer goes, are you being a wise ass? So now I step in, I go, listen, I don't know what's going on here. Well, what can I do for you? I'm trying to explain. Like, they wanted it. So basically, what I did was I made the pie for him, and I took it out light. And I waited a couple of minutes, and then I said, okay, is this the way you wanted it? He goes, this is, what did he say to me? He goes, this is bullshit. And just walked out. And I'm like, all right. I don't know what the person was trying to say. To this day, I don't know what he was trying to say.
I feel like the customer was almost trying to be the wise ass. Like, right? Like, how do you do that?
I mean, I have no idea. But, you got people that, some people are crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's just...
Take the pie out, go run it into the walk-in for 10 minutes, and...
I mean, just take the pie and leave. By the time you get home, it's going to be warm.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, open up the box so
let
it doesn't...
it air out.
Yeah,
I don't know I don't know what they were trying to say, but that was one that happened like 3 days ago,
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Or how about, like, at the bar, you ever have, like, customers that are being inappropriate with the bartender where you have to step in?
Yes, I've kicked out people. You know. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Any like specific stories that stand out? Or?
Oh, one time, I mean, we had a customer, and he was here like a lot, you know, so he felt like he could do whatever he wanted.
Okay.
You know? So one of my servers were walking by and he groped them, you know.
He touched the server.
Well, he hugged her, but you know, you can't touch anybody.
No way.
You don't touch anybody, you know. And he hugged her, and I was actually sitting where you're sitting, at a table with my mom and my brother, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, and I got up and I said, you know, what are you doing? He goes, he goes, sit down with your mom and your brother. I said, well, excuse me? I said, you know what? I think it's time you go. He goes, you're going to kick me out? I'm a great customer here. I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're getting kicked out because you're not, you know, there's no need to touch anybody. You know, and I get it, you're drinking, I get it, you know, this and that, but once your hands get up, you know, you got to go.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to go. And I kicked him out.
Yeah.
And that, you know, and that's a big problem. Everyone knows I'm pretty strict like that, you know. Don't belittle the employee. Don't talk bad to him because I will kick you out. Mm-hmm. You know. I've been in business long enough when I have that. I can do it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I'm not afraid to lose the customer.
I don't care how good of a regular you are. You can't touch people. You're like, you know, if a waitress wants to come and give you a hug and you want a hug and it's mutual, that's one thing. But
even still, I tell the waitresses, you know,
yeah,
you got to be careful who you hug and where you hug them. You know,
definitely
when you hug them, rather. You know,
yeah.
Some people take it the wrong way. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of things that happen, especially over the bar. But for the most part, you know, during the summer I get more because I got a lot more transient people coming in.
Yeah,
you know, so you get a lot of people that don't really typically come here all the time. You know, they come. You know, we call them summer customers.
Yeah.
You know, they're not locals. So locals, and I got to give them a lot. They do respect my employees a lot. It's just, you know, when you get the summer crowd they come off the nautical mile. They've been drinking all day, and then, you know, and that's when I tell them, you know how many arguments we get into with customers? We can't serve you. What do you mean? Well, we can't serve you. Yeah. Why? Because you just walked in boxed. I mean, I can't serve you.
Yeah.
You know, that's bullshit. I'm like, have a meal. Just eat something. No, I want a drink. You can't have a drink? Well, get out.
Right.
You know? I mean, and that's, you know, you have to be stern like that.
I mean, that's you doing your job. That's the law. Like, that's like what you're supposed to be doing. God forbid you overserve.
Right, and you overserve, and then it becomes, you know, we're the last place and whatever, you know. But for the most part, like I said, it's the transient people that give us the issue.
Yeah.
And of course, you always get the one customer that feels like that one customer that we kicked out.
Entitled.
They feel entitled. But and I tell the girls, you know, make sure you stand up for yourself, you know. Just because a customer is a good customer doesn't mean that you have to take any shit from them whatsoever. You come talk to me right away, and we'll take care of it right away. I don't care who it is.
Yeah,
you know.
No, you put your foot down.
You put your foot down, and because that other people are watching. You know, when you're at a bar, everybody's watching everybody. You know, and me as the owner, if I don't take a stand or do the right thing by my employee, guy or girl, you know, it reflects on me.
Yeah,
you know? And that customer is viewed, the one that's doing the bad stuff, is viewed as an asshole. You know? So
no, I definitely get the transient too, because I bartend in Fire Island for the summers.
Oh, so
I get transient. It, you know, more than you know. For people that aren't from the area at all, like explaining Freeport, like you were saying, like it is like it's a really summer space.
It's a summer space, and then Freeport gets like this bad rap, you know, because, you know, whatever you see on the news or whatever. Freeport's a great neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, we never have, like, during the winter, there's never a problem in Freeport.
Right.
You know, so if it's such a bad neighborhood, why is it there a problem?
Yeah, it would be all year round if it was.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's so you would understand because you work at Fire Island. Man, people come in on a mission to just, I'm not in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? And they get crazy, you know.
And they're local of Long Island, but they feel like they're on vacation because they're in a new place.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Friday night. We're going to Nautical Mile. Rah, and it's like, okay, relax.
Do you
Have
guys
a garlic knot. Take a garlic.
Take a garlic knot and relax and stuff. Do you guys get a big boat crowd here? Because you're like just off the mile, but
that's one of my, you know, come April, May, my business just, you know, it changes completely. The boat crowd is
huge.
You know, up and down Main Street here, you have marinas everywhere.
Yeah,
you know? and you have big boats back there, and it's a big part of our customer base.
Yeah.
Big. On a Saturday night, that's why, the little, the garden that we have out there, it's nice. On a Saturday night, you come off your boat, you tie up, you walk over, you're sitting out back in a little courtyard, and you don't feel like, the craziness of the mile,
Yeah,
You're sitting there with your family, your wife, your girlfriend, you have dinner, we have a singer out there. It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
And those boaters love that,
Definitely. You got your own little Montana paradise back there.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. We rely on our boaters a lot.
Do you think that your bar crowd and your dining crowd is extremely different, or?
Listen, yes. In what sense? Like, they're very similar, like in age, like demographic. So that's similar. But I think the person that likes to eat at the bar likes to eat at the bar.
Yeah.
Like I got a lot of customers that the first thing they do is they go by the bar and they have a martini, and then they have to have their meal at a table.
Okay.
So, you get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
then there's a customer that just wants to sit at the bar, wants to watch TV, and eat at the bar.
Right.
So in that sense, yeah, there's a little difference. But demographically, no.
Yeah. No. So it sounds pretty integrated to me. Like,
Yeah.
very similar crowd.
It's very similar crowd. I tend to have like a middle-aged crowd. 50s and up.
Okay.
But for the most part, but I've noticed people that sit at a bar will sit at a table. Table people won't sit at the bar. Does that make any sense?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So if you come here and you're like, you want to sit at a table, you're a family guy or something, you're probably just going for the tables.
Table.
But
Yeah.
bar people are more.
Bar people will be like,
back
oh,
and
there's
forth.
no room, I'll sit.
Okay. What would be some lies that we tell customers that we don't like to admit?
Like your food will be out in 5 minutes?
I swear that was the example I was just about to give. I was going to say your table will be ready in 5
It's like
minutes.
when you go to the Chinese restaurant, right?
Yeah.
How long? 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's been
You'll
an
hear that
hour.
for an hour. Yeah.
Yeah,
We just ran out of that.
Yeah. No, that steak was no good. Meanwhile, we never had it.
Yeah.
No. I know. There's a lot of lies. I don't know if I'm going to tell you all my lies.
No.
but-
Just give us a couple like common ones, regular ones, like that people would understand, relate to.
Yeah, well, your food be out in 10 minutes, or we are, oh my God, sorry, we're so busy that, the food's taking a bit longer. Meanwhile, they fucked up your whole food.
Yeah.
That's a common lie.
Definitely.
Or they drop the food in the back and you walk out, And I've done this, and I've told the customers the truth. I've been like, listen, they just dropped your whole food, your whole entire order.
We got to remake it.
But usually when it happens, you go up there, listen, give us 15 more minutes. We're a little backed up. But,
Yeah.
That's not true. They just dropped the food.
Right.
Or you see the food come out wrong, and the expediter checks it, and, the person wanted, extra sauce, and they got, Fredo sauce and not tomato sauce.
Right.
So, and then you have to go, lie a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely I'll do those lies. Like somebody gives me a big order and I'll maybe forget to put something in or forget to put that adjustment. And then when I bring it out, they ask what
happened to my chicken fingers?
Right. And I'm like, they had to go and get more.
Yeah,
They're just putting them in. They'll be out in a second. I'm running in the back
so
drop those
my
chicken
biggest
fingers.
lie, if I have a lie.
Yeah.
And now everyone's going to know.
Yes.
So I pride myself on this lie, okay? I'm a big firm believer if you come to a restaurant and you like something.
Yeah.
Say you like Brussels sprouts. Say, and when I'm slower, I'll do the food aspect. Even when I'm busy, and I've done this many times. Say you want a Macallan, and I'm out of Macallan, right? I always tell them, hold on, let me just go to my basement and grab a bottle. That's my biggest lie because one, I have no basement, and two, I don't stock like multiple bottles of Macallan like that. So I'll run personally to the liquor store, go pick it up, come back, and make sure the customer gets what they want. Or like say they want a certain kind of wine that I don't carry. I'm not a high-end restaurant. I don't carry Camus like that.
Right.
I might have a couple of bottles at hand, but I don't have cases of it. And you have a table that's drinking. They're flowing.
Oh, yeah.
A bottle of wine is only, 3.5 glasses, 4 glasses. So I always go, listen, no, yeah, we got more. Yeah, no, we got more. And I get in my car and
you'll run
I
out.
go buy it. Yeah. So that's my biggest lie.
Yeah,
If I had a lie.
that's a lie that I feel like you'd want to admit on here because That shows like how great of an owner you are. Like you're willing to go to that instead of just telling them
but
no.
You
we
and I
don't.
are out and say you drink Glenlivet and you love Glenlivet, and you know the customer is going to be having dinner and spending a night here. Mm-hmm. You know, one thing people hate is when they don't have what they want. You know,
Definitely,
especially when it comes to, you know, that part of your day is supposed to be the most relaxing day.
Right.
You know. So, but that's one of my biggest lies. I'm sure there's more lies I have, but
no, you don't have to.
I had to shine with one. I had to shine with one.
No, and that's a great one because it shows like you are willing. A lot of owners wouldn't do that. They would say, "Oh, we're out of it. I'm sorry. What else can I get you?" You're gonna run out and make sure that they have what they want. That's huge. Like,
yeah, because I think it's important. You know, and that's one of the biggest things that makes a customer want to come back.
Yeah.
You know, so that's.
I've never eaten here, and that makes me want to come here.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not even a customer.
And that's it's a big policy I tell my employees. You know, if we don't listen, if we don't have the means of me running out to do it,
yeah,
and we're slammed. You know, like my other location in Merrick, we're fortunate enough to have a liquor store 2 doors down, a Stop and Shop right across. You know, all within in the same shopping center.
Yeah.
So there's never a reason to say no on anything unless, you know, you're ultra slammed or, you know what I mean? But you try not to say no. The word no is something you're not supposed to say. You know?
If you don't have to.
You don't have to say it.
How about celebrities? You ever get any celebrities in here throughout the years?
Yes. I just gotta think.
Besides Dave Portnoy, which is huge in a pizza place.
So I had Flavor Flav. Oh, Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav have been in here. Yes. Flavor
That's
Flav.
cool.
Yeah, he has been in here. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's from Freeport.
He still lives in Freeport?
No, but he's from Freeport.
And so he's coming here?
Yeah, he's coming in here.
I mean, who doesn't love Flavor Flav?
Flavor Flav is
Yeah.
coming here.
Does he actually wear the clock?
When he came, he did have the clock on, but I think he was like on the mile or something. So
okay,
he must have came off the mile.
Yeah.
And I've had DJs like, you know, like Jonathan Peters. I used to do the Sound Factory.
Yeah,
he's coming here just to have dinner to go see other DJs perform. You know,
okay.
So I'm sorry if I forget who came, but there's so many people that come in.
No,
you know. But like, you know, A-list celebrities, no.
But even like that, that's really. Flavor Flav, Jonathan Peters, like
Jonathan Peters,
Sound Factory back in the day. That was
that was a big deal to me. You know that he came.
It was huge.
Yeah. So and we've had, like I said, we have a lot of artists that come to sing here. You know, like Fran Jolie, she's been here. Lime, they've been here. So the people that we book are pretty much famous.
Yeah.
You know, so and that Cover Girls have been here. George Lamont. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Those are all really cool things.
They're real. Yeah. So. But as far as customers coming in to eat, not so much.
Right.
As far as that.
Or maybe not that you've noticed.
Not that I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yes,
maybe they come in incognito.
Incognito.
Yeah.
Right.
Being in this industry, you've learned customers and like, so what's one order or something that a customer can order and you know like that customer is probably going to be trouble. That customer is going to be a pain in the ass.
Oh, well, you have... We have customers that have been coming in for 30 years that we know you're never going to get it right.
Yeah.
I have one customer, I'm not going to say his name.
No, we don't want to call anybody out.
I've been taking this man's order for 30 years. Since I was 12 years old, I've been taking this man's order. And it's just never right. And he still keeps on coming back.
Yep.
And he still fucks it up. I know what he wants, and he still messes it up. And if I'm there, I'm like, I take his order. You know? I have people just text me their orders because the way they explain their order is not right. But I know.
You understand what they want.
It's just, you know. There's one lady that comes in. She is the most difficult customer. She's been coming in for 20 some odd years. She knows who she is because if she listens to this, she'll know.
Yeah.
She wants her fresh mozzarella chopped on the side.
Okay.
Okay. For any pasta that she gets. But everything is always an issue. But she's the sweetest lady, but just nothing is ever right.
Right.
I love you, but you know who you are. But it is, you know. Listen, being in business so long, you deal with a lot of different people.
For sure.
You know? A lot of different people.
And sometimes those difficult customers, like you're saying, like you love her, like I love her. They have a piece of your heart.
But she knows. She knows. You know, she knows.
Yeah.
And when she sees a new bartender or a new server, she's like, call Frank right over here because this is not going to work out well. She knows, because she knows how difficult she is, you know? So.
Yeah, that speaks to how accommodating you guys are here to the customers. That you, even with you screwing up the order, you know, for 20 years straight, they're still coming back, or 30 years for the guy. Yeah. They're still coming back to you
I'm
guys,
sure there's people out there that's like, we're never going back there. You know?
Yeah, that's anywhere. Yeah.
But, you know.
You can't get away from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The haters are there.
Yep.
If you had to pick like a restaurant trend right now that's just overrated.
Overrated? Oof. No. Look, I don't, I think trends are good in the restaurant business. Mm-hmm. So, overrated, I mean, you know.
It could be even a drink, you know, like.
Well, the Espresso Martini is like way overrated.
That's what was it. When I asked the question, that was in my head.
The Espresso Martini is just the most overrated drink. Or, you know, the Aperol Spritz. I mean, you know, people are like, oh, you made that wrong. Well, you can't really make that wrong. But,
yeah.
You know, there's you know, the trends, as far as trends, I mean, there's a lot of things going on now in the restaurant business. But I feel like it's actually pretty cool to see a lot of pizzerias, you know, pizzerias themselves getting spotlighted instead of, you know, before Instagram and stuff, pizzeria was a pizzeria.
Yep.
You know, now you have guys like Talio, you have guys like
Phil's.
Yep. You know, coming out of their shells, you know, crispy pizza, doing, you know, so great on Instagram, just, you know, bringing pizza back to being cool, you know, where before it was like, you know, you just thought about do the right thing and you walked in and there was a big fat Italian guy behind the counter serving a slice, you know, and that's typically what you thought about. So these trends on Instagram kind of like, you know, pretty cool that, you know, sometimes they're a little too much.
Definitely.
You know, when you're on your feed, you're like, all right, enough. But as a pizzeria owner, to see the industry evolve, you know, Portnoy being a biggest advocate for it.
For sure.
You know, it's pretty cool, you know. But trends-wise, the drinks, the Espresso Martini is just, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, then you see someone, you know, you're like, wow, that looks pretty darn good, you know.
Some of the trends, I'm like, I got to try. Yeah.
Okay, this is what I hate. You say you're gonna do something, right, on Instagram.
Yeah.
And the trends are now, you know, you show how you make the food and whatever and plate it and this and that or the drink. Well, when you get there and order it, it better be that way.
For sure.
Don't let me come down to your place and you made me like, you know, believe that you were going to serve me something that is not even there.
Yeah.
You know, and any restaurant owner, if you're going to put something out there, make sure your guys know what to do.
Definitely.
You know, don't let people come down and now, you know, it looks like a deflated tire when it's supposed to look like a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one thing that annoys me.
That's huge. Yeah. Yeah, and that's like they try to catfish you in, you know,
right.
And
exactly.
And then that's I think how you really destroy your business too, because you set an expectation up here and you deliver down here.
Well, listen, going back to, you know, the drink thing, you know, like you know, the specialty drinks. I tend to shy away from a little bit only because, you know, if you don't have the right personnel sometimes, you're busy, and those drinks take up a lot of time.
Yeah.
And when I find the right person that I feel like could take me to that, you know, but you know, I go to restaurants sometimes. I got friends of mine who have restaurants. Their drink recipes are like just as extensive as your dinner recipes. So it takes a lot. You know, a mixologist really means a lot to your restaurant, and you have to have the right one. So don't pretend to have it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I stick
and
to
consistency.
Right. Don't pretend to, you know, make the fancy drink with the, you know, the dried up lemon and this and that when you don't have a clue on how to consistently provide that drink.
Right.
So I think that's why I tend not to, you know, up until I find that right mixologist, you know, that I can work with like I do with a chef.
Yep.
You know, then I'll, you know, jump into it.
I think it is really important to do the classics right.
And just do them right.
Yeah.
You know, and yes, you have to evolve, which is very important, but don't go out of your lane, if that makes any sense.
For sure.
Just stay within your lane and
without a doubt.
Find the right personnel, because as an owner, you're only as good as the people that you hire. I mean, you could only do so much. So it's important on who is doing what and when they're doing what.
Your chain is only as strong as your weakest link.
1,000%.
Do you want to take the break, or should we just keep rolling? The what? 10, 15 what? Another 10 or 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah, we don't have so much more to go to anyway. All right, cool.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
11:30ish we could.
Yeah, probably like another maybe 20 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe like 11:40 it'll go
Okay,
to.
cool.
Yelp for restaurants. How do you feel about Yelp? Because it can really help or it can really hurt, and too many people
I hate
have
it.
access.
I
Yeah,
hate it.
I'm with
I
you.
hate it.
I agree.
I feel like Yelp has ruined the industry in a sense. It's not. Listen, is it nice? You go to Florida and you go on Yelp and you get to see, but what places get the ratings and you go eat there. And that's great, but it's also not fair. The restaurant doesn't have a platform to respond.
Mm-hmm.
So how is it okay that someone gets to go belittle me, and I don't get to go into the DMV and go pick apart the person that just served me so they could lose their job.
Right.
But Yelp provides that platform, provides the customer the power, to go and basically ruin a restaurant, ruin a family's restaurant, and ultimately get a server or a person fired.
Yeah.
Because when I look at the review, I'm just gonna react. Instead of the customer coming up to me and going, "Hey, by the way, I was at your place and I had a bad experience. The server was great,
Right.
but this or the server wasn't that great. I knew she was new. That goes a long way on how you treat the situation. But if I just look, it's Friday night. My server was horrible. The food didn't come out on time. She didn't care or he didn't care. Now I got to take your word for it, and I got to fix the problem.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I got to let that person go. You just ruined somebody's life.
Yep.
And that's why I don't like Yelp.
No, and if you could have 10 customers in here, you could do 9
good things.
flawless meals. Those 9 people don't leave the Yelp review. You do one little mistake, it's that one person that ends up leaving the Yelp review. So it's not even a true reflection of.
It's not. I tend on the Google reviews. I tend to respond better to Google reviews.
Okay.
I look at the amount of. Unfortunately, there's people out there that just like to go home.
Yeah.
And write reviews. They just go home and
haters.
they get home and they're like, all right, let me just write reviews. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, that's your thing. But I try now. I look at how many reviews they have written. If I see that you have a lot of reviews written, that means you're into that type of stuff. I might take you more seriously than a person that just we have 2 reviews in the last 6 years.
And they're all negative.
2 reviews last 6 years. You came in, you just didn't like my place, and you want to badmouth me. But it's important to respond to those reviews. I mean, it's part of what the industry is nowadays. You can't hide from it.
Right.
For
sure.
So it's definitely what the industry has become.
How do you feel about adding gratuity to big tables? Large parties.
It's interesting you say that. So, look, as long as you print it on the menu and tell the customer beforehand
Ahead of time, yeah.
I'm a firm believer that I'm old school. If I serve you a table, I'm going to get the best tip that you're ever going to.
You don't need it added in.
I don't need it.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm going to provide to that table. I think there's some places that have a clientele that maybe doesn't tip, and that's just that where you are or the restaurant that you are, or for the most part, if that's how the situation is, then automatic rat. But not just big tables. This should be done on everything,
Okay.
because this way it's kind of like an even playing field. Me personally, I don't like the automatic rat.
Mm-hmm.
I like it where if I see it hinders me as an owner to see the kind of service that we were providing for B to C.
For sure.
In certain circumstances, though, you got there's some tables that I got customers that I know, they're not going to tip.
Right.
And those people, accordingly, I'll go to them and say, listen, we do automatic rat,
Yeah.
But to implement that as my go-to, it's hard to judge what kind of service you're providing. You know, because if you got 6 servers and the equal amount of people from one server only made 20%, 200, and the other server made 600. You have an indication of what was going on here.
Right.
You know, with the automatic rat, you're never going to know.
Yep.
You know, especially when you have a busy place.
And then we'll go into like some more quicker questions, try to, wrap it up a little or get it going a little bit. Kind of a more end or questions. So like, as an Italian, sauce or gravy?
Sauce.
Sauce.
Gravy's for my mashed potatoes. Now you know why they call it gravy, right? Because they add the meat. So like when you brown the meats to make a Sunday sauce.
Okay.
Initially, it's brown.
Yeah.
You know, but you can keep it called gravy until it stays brown. The minute you hit that sauce in there, it's sauce.
It's sauce.
Once it turns red, it's sauce.
Okay.
So you have a good hour into your process.
Yeah.
Where you can call it gravy. Yeah, it's sauce.
Learn that from the man himself. Customers asking for substitutions, fair or annoying?
Fair, but don't get mad if it comes out wrong. Because a menu, it's easy for a customer to substitute, right? But when you're working in the industry, right?
Yep.
And you make a drink a certain way, but you don't want X, you don't want Z, and you're busy. You're programmed to make that drink the way you were taught to make that drink. Case in point, you make a plate of pasta. Now you substitute the garlic for onion, and you add green peas, and you become one of those. We got a problem. If you say, "Hey, look, I'm allergic to onion," all right, or whatever the case, or seafood, please. The dish calls for seafood, no seafood. That's simple. But when you say no seafood, add chicken, a little rice,
right,
maybe some green peas, and if you have any guacamole back there, throw it in there. You just messed up my whole day. I mean, the cook's going to throw me out of the kitchen. So everything is relative to what to what it is.
Large parties walking in without a reservation, nightmare or normal?
It could be a nightmare, but you never say no to.
Yeah, of course.
We're here to make money, but it definitely could be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids running around the restaurant, acceptable or chaos?
Had an issue Saturday night. I got a 7-year-old. You're supposed to watch your kid.
Yep.
So it's acceptable if the parent is proactive. That make any sense?
Yeah.
You're sitting at it's 7:00 at night in a restaurant, 6:30, 7. It's acceptable. It's 9:30 at night. I mean, first of all, the kid's 6. Maybe the kid shouldn't be awake at 9:30, and also it's how the parent deals with it. If the parent is proactive, come here, little Mikey, stop, don't do that, But when the parents are just sitting there with their legs crossed, talking to their friends, and their kid is, basically on the walls of the restaurant,
right.
No one's reprimanding the child, unacceptable. If that makes any sense.
No,
it's how
perfect sense.
And customers, they listen. Everybody been around kids, So if you see the mother or the dad going, hey, calm down a little bit, come sit here, or get up themselves and walk the kid around to get the energy out. That's cool.
You're sympathetic to that.
I got no problem with that.
Yeah. It's
when the parent does not acknowledge what the child is doing.
Yeah.
And is running amok, on top of the bar, doing milk shots.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You got to go.
Like, control your kid.
Right,
yeah.
Right. It's more be respectful for the people that are trying to have a
right.
meal.
Or at least let me see that you're trying to be respectful.
And that's all he asks for.
Right. Yeah. Ordering a steak well done, acceptable or criminal?
Look, my brother he's a well done guy.
Okay. Yeah.
I think with steak, if you go to well done, at that point you're killing the meat, so it doesn't matter. It's it's the opposite what matters to me. When you order a steak, medium rare or medium, and you get it well done.
Well, oh yeah.
That is more of a problem in my industry.
Yeah,
But as a restaurateur, you shouldn't kill the meat.
Yeah.
That's the flavor of it.
No.
But
I would say it's criminal.
It's criminal. It's criminal, but then again, it's my $60 that I'm spending, so
however I want it.
That's the other side.
Yeah, you'll serve it.
But I've been to places where they won't give it to you well done.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
refuse,
Yeah. Then we'll do like a love it or hate it. So you just got to simply say love it or hate
Okay.
it. Espresso martinis.
Love it. I mean, but, overrated.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Happy hour crowds.
Could be fun.
You got to pick. Love it or hate it. It's meant to be hard.
I love it.
Love it. Customers splitting checks more than 4 ways.
Hate it.
Large family parties.
Love it.
Restaurant birthdays with singing.
Like the whole...
Yeah.
I think it's funny. I think if I'm not the recipient of it, it's hilarious. But I hate it if it was done to me.
Right.
Like,
You feel that pressure.
yeah, like...
Late night diners. Or do you guys even really do late night?
We do.
You do.
Actually love it. That's one of the best. That's one of the best customers you're going to get because they actually feel they get appreciated. They get to enjoy the food because it's not as busy. They get to enjoy, they're not rushed, and that's usually the late night diner is a customer that usually is going to stick for life.
Yeah,
because
it is true.
It's a great way to bring in a person to basically know what they want, get to know who you are as an owner. It's a time of the night where you're not running around, so you get to actually spend some more time with the customer, figure out what they like, what they don't like. So I like it.
Yeah,
I think it's a good way to build your business.
And we'll do some rapid fires of pizza or pasta.
Okay. Oh, my favorite?
You got to pick pizza or pasta.
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 I'm a pasta guy.
Red sauce or vodka sauce?
Red sauce.
I feel like red sauce is original. Vodka sauce is like newer trend, but like I do love vodka sauce.
I love
it's
it.
So
but
good.
sometimes when I go to a restaurant, the first thing I do is I order a side of meatballs and
some red sauce.
Try their sauce.
Yeah. Chicken parm or eggplant parm?
Chicken parm.
This one you kind of already answered, but I'm going to ask anyway because I didn't know you were going to answer it. Garlic knots or bread bowl or bread basket?
My garlic knots.
Yeah. We already knew what that was going to be. Lunch crowd or dinner crowd?
Equal. I mean, if that's I can't answer.
I mean, whatever you want. Yeah.
As long as they,
you love them both.
As long as they're coming in, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dining room crowd or bar crowd? Who would you rather hang with?
Oh well, the bar crowd is always fun.
Yeah. And then indoor dining or outdoor dining?
Outdoor dining is a whole different, Indoor dining is nice, more intimate, but outdoor dining, especially in the summer, it's nothing better.
Yeah, it's fun. The energy's out there.
Yeah, it's just nice. It's on a beautiful night. There's nothing better.
And is there a food order that would tell you somebody's a Karen?
Ugh.
One food order you hear, like somebody calls in, you don't even have to see them walk in, and you're like, that's a Karen.
It's too many, man. That's not a fair question. Yeah. I mean, to call it in, at the dining room. But the one that they call in, hi, can I get a large pie? Oh, well done, not burnt. Once you hear well done, not burnt, we have a big problem on our hands,
Right.
And it starts from there. And then the salad comes into play, and this and the... Yeah. So
that's a great answer.
Once I hear, can I get a large pie?
Yeah.
Well done, not burnt.
That's it.
I would like to hang up the phone, but I can't.
And then kind of like wrapping it up, do you find that it's hard to relax and enjoy being here, being an owner of the place?
So that's a crazy question. I find it's harder for me to relax when I go to other places.
Because you're kind of looking at what they're doing?
I'm constantly, like my wife would say, can you stop? Can you just stop? I'm watching the server, on her phone when you got a table waiting for a fork. I'm watching the bartender on their phone while the person did this 3 times. I tend to keep on looking around. So where it's equally as uncomfortable sometimes when I'm here, more uncomfortable when I'm out. Because I feel like I'm always constantly in work mode.
Right. You've developed this place to where you are comfortable. It runs how
it
you
runs
enjoy.
because, you know, to when they're not hiding in corners. Yeah.
Right.
But for the most part. You know?
Yeah,
But when
yeah,
I
yeah.
go out, it's kind of like it switches. I'm more like, and it depends on the restaurant too. But if the restaurant's really like in upside down,
Yep.
it gives me anxiety.
And then if there was just one story, like when I asked you to be on this podcast, one story that popped into your mind, like, I got to talk about this. I got to tell this. Is there your
Like
Bartender Bangaz moment? That's what we call it. Like just any crazy, funny, wild, relatable. I'm sure you have a million of them, so it's probably hard to choose, you know.
There's so many. I mean, it's just so many things happen, especially in the summer here.
Yeah.
I mean, I have people fall asleep standing up at the counter.
Yeah.
You know, just literally standing up
At the pizza counter?
At the pizza counter. You know, just like this with a slice, just passed out. You know, in their shorts and their tank top. You know, people laid out. I mean, there's so many things. People are just funny. People are funny people. How one guy just come in. If he watches this, he's gonna know who he is. He sat down, and it was a day of drinking. It was an all-day drinking, and he just went. He had ordered spaghetti and meatballs, you know, typical.
Yep.
And he just kind of went like this. He went, boom, and just fell asleep in his meatballs.
Oh, face into the meatballs.
Right into his meatballs.
That's like a movie.
He just fell asleep in his meatballs, and he wasn't driving.
Yeah.
His boys, they never moved his head.
Right.
They let him sit there until they were done eating. They got him up, they cleaned him up, put him in the car, and they left. I was like, look at this. I can't believe it.
Did they at least pack it up so he could eat it when he woke up?
Absolutely not. It was just all over him. You know? It's so many things that happen.
Yeah.
So
That's a great one.
Yeah, he
Falling
just
asleep face first. Yeah.
Or like when they, some people, because you get a lot of these stories because the summertime, you get a lot of transients. They order this guy ordered a meatball palm hero, and he couldn't grab the bread. He was like just messed up, and he just got so frustrated that he just palmed the meatball. He just started shoving the meatball in his mouth. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What? He's like, I'm like, oh boy, all right. Yeah,
you remember the movie The Wedding Singer?
Yes.
And he's eating the meatballs. That's what I'm picturing in my head as you sell that story.
And you're like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. That's what, in the summer, that's what you get.
Right. Yeah, the wildness of running a restaurant.
The alcohol does a lot to you.
For sure.
Or girls just crying out of nowhere. They start crying. You're like, what happened?
You were happy 3 minutes ago.
Just hysterical crying.
Right.
Yeah, so.
And it could be for anything. It could be happy.
They
could be like, my mom just got a kitten.
Yeah,
and
they just start pouring out crying. You're like, what is it? You're busy. You're like, are you okay? Yeah.
Right.
So.
Frank, thank you so much,
man.
This
This
has been great
Thank
time.
you.
A lot of awesome restaurant insight.
It was fun.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode of Bartender Bangaz. Big shout out to the Montana brothers for having us in here and letting us film in here. Bigger shout out to Frank for being an amazing guest.
Thank you.
If you're a fan of this podcast, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. And if you're a bartender that wants to get on this podcast, shoot us a DM. We'd love to have you. Make sure to keep your weekends banging and not boring. And I'll catch you next week. Peace.